So my thought process was, first of all, to get him. I talked to one of my buddies who's one of the big heads of the NHL, and he told me that Wayne wasn't doing interviews today, one-on-ones, because he had done a multitude of interviews for the tying part of the record,
Yeah,
which was like,
down in Washington.
yeah, so
Yep.
he had done the big interviews, and I think he wanted it to be Ovechkin's moment, but I wasn't going to be denied. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like I just fell upon it. It was calculated. I waited. I had strategy. When he went from the Islanders dressing room to the Caps dressing room, the media was still in the hallway when he spoke to Ovechkin and the team. And as soon as they let all the press in, they were all in the hallway. I was down the hall about 20 feet, maybe 20 yards. I knew Gretzky had to go out that way.
Yeah.
So I knew I would get one shot. They all pile in after he's done talking to them. He was probably lingering. I see his family come out. Then eventually he comes out. Now it's getting late and closer to air. And I wait for him in the hallway. And he comes walking by. And I said, Wayne, do you have time for a few quick questions? And he goes, No, I'm not doing any interviews today. Of course I'll do it. Like he really got me. He does stuff like that. Not a great relationship. I've interviewed him over the years. I interviewed him at MSG when I was with MSG Network when he wasn't a Ranger. And then I interviewed him when he was a Ranger when I was working for NBC. So I think he knows me, he knows my face, and he was smart enough to just not blow me off, I think. And I wasn't like alarmed. I didn't go after him like putting pressure on. I said, Wayne, do you have 40? I think I said, do you have 40 seconds to share some thoughts with me? And he goes, No, I don't have time for any interviews today. And of course, and I knew at that point I had disarmed him. And
Yeah.
interesting, Jack, because uh, I want to say that I had scribbled at that point. This is a good lesson, even for
Yep.
somebody who's done 1,000 interviews. I quickly wrote down three questions if I did get Wayne that I would ask him. It's on a manila folder. It's written
It's
in
great.
red. It's got some crossouts. It was a magical moment for the NHL. What was it like for you to pass the torch? Because we knew it
Yeah.
wasn't as enjoyable for him because the record was gone.
Absolutely.
But he goes, Well, I wouldn't say I passed the torch. I wanted to get that goal as much as he did. I was really rooting for him. So it was good.
Yeah.
I don't mind being like busted or my question
Yeah.
wasn't perfect. Maybe the better question was it was a magical moment for the NHL. What was it like for you?
Yeah.
I had that first crossed out,
But
but
yeah.
know that it couldn't have been great. So I said, I wanted to be a little more positive. What was it like for you to pass the torch? Ovechkin has so much respect for you and the game. Are you glad he's the guy who broke the record? I thought that was a really good.
Yeah. That's a great one.
And
Yeah.
then my last one is, do you think this record will ever be broken? But
And
during
what was his response?
the second answer, he answered that towards the end. He goes, My father, Walter, told me that at some point my record will be broken too, and that records are meant to be broken. So he answered it, and then I really didn't have a third. And we went a
Yeah.
minute and 47 seconds or whatever it was, a minute and 55. And I just said, Thank you.